The day you take full responsibility for your life is the day you begin to change it. Let me tell you something. If your life is going to change, it's not up to your boss. It's not up to your government. It's not up to your spouse, your parents, or your past. It's up to you. Responsibility. Personal responsibility. That's where the magic begins. And let me be clear, responsibility is not a burden. It's a gift. Because once you accept responsibility, now you have the power to change. So in this speech, we're going to walk step by step through this concept, the power of personal responsibility. Not just as an idea, not as a theory, but as a way of living. Let's begin. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. It begins with one powerful decision: to stop blaming and start owning. That, my friend, is the turning point. Now I know life can be unfair. Some of us were dealt a tough hand. Poor upbringing, no support, low education, health issues, it happens. But here's the truth. Excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure. And if you want to build something better, you've got to stop using excuses as your tools. Most people look out the window. They blame their job, their spouse, the economy, the weather, always looking out there for the problem. But growth doesn't happen when you look through the window. Growth happens when you look in the mirror. That's where the answers are. And that's where your power lies. Because when you blame others, you give away your power. But when you say, "This is on me," now you're holding the pen. You're writing the story. Some people say, "I'll change when things get better." No. Things get better when you do. Waiting for the perfect time is just another way of saying, "I don't want to grow yet." And let me tell you, don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. That's responsibility. That's maturity, not waiting. Work the first question. What did I do? When something goes wrong, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What did I do? What could I have done differently? How did I contribute to this result?" That's not self-blame. That's self-awareness. Because if you did something to cause it, then you can do something to change it. And that's where all your power is. Now listen closely. Your life is a project. And guess what? You are the project manager. Not your parents, not your friends, not the government. You. So take out the blueprint. Get honest with yourself. What's working? What's not? What do I need to fix? That's how you build something worth living in. Let me share something that changed my life. If you will change, everything will change for you. See, I used to wait for the government to do it. Wait for my upline. Wait for someone to come save me. But nothing changed. And then I took responsibility. And everything changed. Don't wait for rescue. Start the rebuild. Pick up your tools. Take the hammer of self-discipline. Take the nail of personal standards. And start building a better you. Write this down. If it's to be, it's up to me. Say it again. Say it slow. If it's to be, it's up to me. That's not just a sentence. That's a lifestyle. Here's what I want you to do tonight. Take a quiet moment. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, where am I blaming? Where am I waiting? What do I need to take responsibility for? Because once you accept full responsibility for your life, you stop being a victim and you start being powerful. And remember, the day you change your thinking is the day your life begins to change. It's not what happens that determines your life future. It's what you do about what happens. Let's talk about one of the greatest powers you have. A power that separates the successful from the stuck, the calm from the chaotic, the builders from the blamers. It's the power to respond, your response. Now I wish I could tell you life would always go your way, that people would always be kind, that business would always grow, that plans would always work out. But you and I both know that's not how life works. You'll face delays. You'll hear no. You'll lose money. You'll get knocked down. That's life. The same wind blows on us all. The wind of disaster, the wind of opportunity, the wind of change. But here's the secret. It's not the wind that determines your direction. It's how you set the sail. There's a difference between a reaction and a response. A reaction is automatic, emotional, instant. Someone says something rude, you snap back. A deal falls apart, you spiral. Plans change, you complain. That's reaction. But a response is thoughtful. It's chosen. You pause, you think, you ask, what's the best way to handle this? That small gap between what happens and what you choose, that's where your freedom lies. You may not control what happens, but you always control what you do next. Always. That's why we call it responsibility. The ability to respond. When someone criticizes you, you can get bitter or you can get better. When life doesn't go your way, you can complain or you can learn. When adversity comes, you can shrink or you can grow. Let the winds blow. Let the storms come. I'll keep adjusting my sail until I reach the shore. That's the mindset of a responsible person. Most people spend their energy reacting to people and problems. They get stuck in traffic and they rage. Someone says the wrong thing. They take it personally. A delay shows up and their whole day is ruined. But let me ask you something. What if you stopped letting the outside control the inside? What if you became the thermostat, not the thermometer? A thermometer just reflects the environment. But a thermostat sets the temperature. So instead of reacting, you respond. You decide, this is how I will think. This is how I will act. This is who I will be. That's where your strength comes from. Let me share a story. I heard, Jim, I lost everything in the crash. I said, everything. He said, well, not my health, not my family, not my mind, but everything else. And I said, then you've still got the best parts. Use them. See, life may take a lot from you, but it cannot take your response unless you give it away. Don't give it away. Don't give your mood to someone's bad day. Don't give your dreams to someone else's disapproval. Don't give your energy to things outside your control. Life gives you the first half of the story, but you write the ending. You lose the job. Okay? How do you respond? You fail the project. All right. What do you do next? You get rejected. Yes, it hurts. But what now? That's where the story is written. Not in what happened, but in how you responded. It takes emotional strength to respond with wisdom. You've got to build that muscle. How? Pause before speaking. Breathe before reacting. Ask you, what would the best version of me do in this moment? It takes practice, discipline, patience. But the rewards, because once you master your response, you become unshakable. You can't stop the storms. You can't stop the setbacks. You can't stop what people say or do, but you can control what you say, what you do, what you become. The greatest gift you can give yourself is self-mastery. So today, the challenge is simple. Don't just react. Respond. And in that response, take full responsibility. Because that's the moment you begin to shape your destiny. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. Let's get honest for a moment. Some people wait their whole lives waiting for someone to give them permission, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for a sign or a savior. But let me tell you something I learned early. No one's coming. No one's coming to rescue you. No one's coming to do the push-ups for you. No one's coming to build your dream for you. It's on you. And that's not bad news. That's the best news you could ever hear. Because if no one's coming, then you get to take charge. You get to create your own life on your terms. Let's talk about waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for support. Waiting for someone to notice you. Waiting for everything to feel right. But here's the truth. Don't wait for the right opportunity. Create it. Waiting is a trap. It's disguised as patience, but it's really fear in fancy clothes. You wait because you're afraid. Afraid to fail. Afraid to succeed. Afraid to look foolish. But guess what? Waiting never builds anything. Only action does that. You say, Jim, I don't have the tools. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the connections. That may be true, but let me remind you, start from wherever you are with whatever you've got. You don't need everything to get started. You just need a decision. Start messy. Start scared. Start small. But start, because once you start, the momentum comes. The clarity comes. The confidence builds. And soon you'll look back and say, I can't believe how far I've come. The moment you accept that no one's coming, you free yourself. You stop expecting the government to fix your finances. You stop expecting your boss to give you meaning. You stop expecting your friends to fuel your dream. You realize you're the one. You are the builder. You are the craftsman. You are the leader of your own life. So build. Build your character. Build your habits. Build your skills. Build your life. One brick at a time. One day at a time. That's the creator mindset. Now some people live in victim mode. They say things like, why is this happening to me? If only I had more time. If only someone would help me. But a responsible person says, what can I do about it? How can I make the most of this? What do I control? That's the shift. That's the key. Life is about constant, deliberate improvement. And that starts with initiative. Victims wait. Creators move. You don't need to know everything right now. You just need to begin. Here's what creators do. They read, they think, they plan, they try, they fail, and they get better. Every day, one small improvement. That's how you move forward. Because you can't create your future by sitting still. You create it by becoming more. The marketplace doesn't reward need. It rewards value. And where does value come from? From you, from your effort, from your growth, from your consistency. Stop saying, I need an opportunity, and start saying, I'll become the kind of person opportunity can't ignore. That's the difference. Don't wait for someone to motivate you. Motivate yourself. Don't wait for the environment to change. Be the one who changes. When you change, everything changes for you. Wake up earlier, read more, think deeper, work harder. Do it for you. Because when you light your own fire, you don't have to depend on someone else to keep you warm. Here's what I want you to take from this. You can wait, or you can work. You can make excuses, or you can make moves. You can look around and hope for a savior, or you can look in the mirror and find the answer. Because no one's coming to write your story, but you can pick up the pen and write it yourself. You are the only problem you will ever have, and you are the only solution. Take full responsibility, not just for what happened, but for what happens next. Self-worth comes from one thing, thinking that you are worthy. Let's have a real conversation. We've talked about taking control of your life. We've talked about how you respond. We've talked about no longer waiting, choosing to act. Now, let's talk about what happens next. When you take responsibility, something powerful begins to grow. Not money, not recognition, not applause, self-worth. And let me tell you something. That's the real wealth. People often say, Jim, I want to feel more confident. And I say, well, confidence doesn't come from talking about it. It comes from one thing, keeping your promises to yourself. When you say you'll get up early and you do, your self-worth grows. When you say you'll read that book and you do, your self-worth grows. When you say you'll make that call, do the work, hit your goals, and you follow through, that's where your confidence comes from. Discipline is the foundation for dignity. And dignity, that's self-worth. Let's be clear. No one can give you self-worth. It's not a gift. It's not a handout. You don't earn it by being popular. You don't earn it by being perfect. You don't earn it by pleasing others. You build it, brick by brick, choice by choice. And the foundation, responsibility. Because when you take responsibility, you prove something to yourself. I can handle it. I can follow through. I can trust myself. That's where the real power begins. You see, most people are looking for someone to approve of them, to say, you're doing great, to say, you're good enough, to say, you matter. And listen, encouragement is nice, but it's not sustainable. If your self-worth depends on someone else's approval, then the moment they leave, your confidence leaves too. But when your self-worth is built on your own discipline, no one can take it from you. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, because you've already proven it to yourself. Responsibility does something unique. It gives you quiet strength, not arrogance, not loud ego, just a steady belief in yourself. You walk differently. You speak differently. You handle challenges with more calm. Why? Because you know you can depend on you. You're not perfect, but you're committed. You're not always motivated, but you're disciplined. And that creates a kind of inner power that no one can give and no one can take. Here's the truth. You may not fix the world, but you can fix your day. You can fix your attitude. You can fix your effort. Start there. Take responsibility at your level. If you make a mess, clean it up. If you fall short, admit it. If you waste time, correct it. If you let someone down, own it. Not because someone told you to, but because that's who you are now. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And as you improve yourself, your self-respect grows. That's the real reward. Here's the beautiful parting. The more responsibility you take, the more trust you build with yourself. The more trust you build, the more confidence you gain. The more confidence you gain, the more boldly you act. And the more boldly you act, the more you create. That's what I call the feedback loop of self-worth. It all starts when you say, I'm responsible. I'm in charge. I will do what it takes. It's not pressure. It's power. Now let me be clear. Responsibility isn't about guilt. It's not about perfection. It's not pressure. It's power. You're not carrying the world. You're carrying yourself. And when you do it well, when you hold your head high, when you honor your word, when you live by your values, you don't need a trophy. You don't need a cheerleader, because you've got something better, self-worth. So here's your question for today. What's one small promise you can keep to yourself? Is it getting up on time? Is it finishing a task you've been avoiding? Is it taking care of your health? Pick one. Write it down. Do it. And do it again tomorrow. And again the next day. Because every time you take responsibility for your actions, you cast a vote for your future. You prove that you are worthy of the life you want. The greatest value in life is not what you get. The greatest value is what you become. And responsibility, that's how you become someone worth believing in. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. But lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. And now we come to the end of our journey. But it's not really the end, is it? It's the beginning. Because everything we've covered, taking ownership, choosing your response, taking initiative, building self-worth, all of it leads here, to your destiny. But the road to destiny, it's paved with two things: discipline and decisions. People often think of destiny like it's some mystery, as if life's path is already written in stone, like success or failure is fate. But here's the truth. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And who do you become? The person who chooses discipline. The person who makes better decisions. You see, destiny is not a mystery. It's a plan. It's a result. It's what happens when you live with intention. It doesn't take a giant leap. Just small decisions made daily with discipline. Do I sleep in or get up and read? Do I waste time or invest it in myself? Do I scroll or do I study? Do I say one more excuse? Or do I say, that's enough? That's the power of decisions. Each one is a seed, and your destiny is the harvest. Now let's talk about discipline. You've heard me say this before. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without discipline, you may start, but you won't finish. Without discipline, you'll dream, but you won't build. Discipline is the glue that keeps you going when emotions fade, when motivation dries up, when no one's watching. Discipline says, I said I would, so I will. It's not about how you feel. It's about who you've chosen to become. Discipline does something else too. It shapes your character. Every time you follow through, you reinforce your identity. You stop being the kind of person who hopes, and you become the kind of person who acts. You stop looking for shortcuts and start trusting the process. Because now you're not just building habits, you're building you. That's responsibility in action. Discipline doesn't always bring quick results. You might not see the payoff today, or tomorrow, or even next week. But give it time, because time will always tell the truth. You'll look back 6 months from now, and you'll see the compound interest of daily discipline. Better health, sharper mind, stronger character, bigger results. But only if you stay consistent. And consistency, that's just discipline repeated. Here's something most people never realize: discipline protects you. It protects your dreams from distraction. It protects your values from pressure. It protects your future from regret. When you live with discipline, you're no longer at the mercy of your moods. You don't let every emotion drag you off course, because you've chosen a higher standard, a bigger future, a meaningful life. And that doesn't come by chance. That comes by design. So here we are. You've learned that responsibility is power, that you choose how to respond, that you create, not wait. That worth is earned through discipline. And now you get to choose what kind of life will you build, because no one is coming to draw the blueprint. You have the pen, and every choice you make, every discipline you follow, every moment you own, it's all part of the design. Your design. Let me leave you with this. You don't get what you want. You get what you're willing to work for. You get what you're willing to discipline yourself for. Success is not found in some far-off land. It's not waiting in someone else's hands. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person. And what makes you attractive? Responsibility, discipline, character, courage. That's the real reward. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Start deciding. And remember, your decisions write your story. Your discipline builds your destiny. And your destiny, that's in your hands now. Thank you for walking this journey. If this message spoke to you, don't just listen to it. Live it. You are the author. You are the builder. You are responsible. And that is your greatest power.